Jobbing with Nicky. Jobbing with Nicky. Jobbing with Nicky. Jobbing with Nicky. Jobbing with Nicky.
Welcome to this episode of Jobbing with Nicky. It is 11 o'clock in the morning and I am joined by the voice that everybody knows, Mr. Tom Campbell.
Sorry, the voice was out of coffee as you said that. Hello.
As I said, yeah, very excited for this. I've been waiting and it's going to be great.
How long have you been waiting? I thought we were meeting at 11. I feel terrible now.
Oh, it's all right. I've
been here for weeks.
I'm one of the people who has to set up early and just sit here.
I set up in January. Post box is full. 17 bottles of milk outside. I haven't moved.
Stars were meant to go on here, isn't it?
Oh, no, sister.
Oh, right. Let's get the general stuff out the way. So, ring announcing. How did you decide you wanted to be a ring announcer?
Well, I went into a shop and they gave me a monkey's paw, and I made a wish to become a voice in wrestling. And no, I didn't really. That's Simpsons wrestling. What happened is I went to Agrabah, and while I was there, I went inside the mouth of a big lion, and in there was a lamp, and Robin Williams came out, and so that's the plot of Aladdin. Sorry, that's not how I got into it. Ring announcing, that's the plot of Aladdin. Well, I was working on my branch line on the Isle of Sodor, and the flight controller said I was a very splendid engine. Sorry, that's Thomas the Tank, not Tom the ring announcer. Right? Okay, no. So, all right. Silliness aside, my background is radio. Radio is always my first love. When I grew up, I was like, my three major passions in the world were wrestling, radio, and Sonic the Hedgehog. And radio was something I pursued doggedly for many years, and reached a point where I was able to work through sort of community radio to actually get a proper radio job on a proper local radio station based out of Shrewsbury. And I was still a wrestling fan at that point. And I remember a wonderful guy came in named Darren O'Sullivan, and he was putting on a charity wrestling show in Shrewsbury. They wanted to promote it. I was like, oh, yeah, come on in. Love wrestling, me. And we got chatting for ages. And he said, we actually need a ring announcer for it. Would you be up for coming to do a charity show? We can't pay you because it's a charity event. But I was like, yeah, go on, then I'm free. I was living in a bed and breakfast in Shrewsbury at this point. I was on my own. I had a partner at the time who lived elsewhere, and so I was just living like it was a job which didn't feel too permanent. So I didn't really want to put any roots down there. So I was in this bedroom in this B&B for £15 a night, Sunday to Thursday, when I just do this radio show, live vicariously in the town, and then go home for a weekend. And so I had all this free time. So I went, oh, let's do that. That'd be fun. And I did it, and they thought I was quite good at it. So as inevitably happens sometimes in the industry, and I've been on both sides of this, they went, we just like you to do it from now on. We can't pay you much, but we'll pay you this. And so I became their ring announcer, and I loved it. And then a few other opportunities came up as a result of that, because what happens is people come into wrestling shows, they see what you do, and they go, oh, do you want to come and do something for us? And then I moved away. Then I moved to Newcastle. I got offered a job working for Heart, doing the drive show for Heart in the northeast of England. Just an amazing opportunity. And again, didn't know anybody up here. I went, I'm actually going to rent an apartment this time rather than doing the Airbnb thing again, because I feel they've signed me for 5 years. I think this is all right. And so I moved up, and it was, I went to a random wrestling show in South Shields because Grado was on the poster. And again, it was, I went on my own. I thought I should want to go watch some wrestling. And I was sat at the back enjoying the show, and I could hear what sounded like wrestling voices talking about wrestling-y things. And I kind of chimed in at one point, and the voice belonged to a man called H.T. Drake. And he's a gatekeeper of Northeast wrestling. And so we got chatting, and we swapped numbers and stuff. And then similar situation, doing a charity show. You were talking about you had experience, you want to come and do it. So I came ring announced, and the first ever show I ring announced in the northeast of England had Tony Storm on the card.
Oh, wow.
Go figure. It was the NE6 suite in Newcastle, and there was Tony Storm getting ready. But before Tony Storm was timeless Tony Storm.
Yeah.
And other people as well. And then that went well. And I ended up bouncing to another promotion that existed for a while called Absolute Wrestling. I worked with them, and I get a similar situation. Can you come in and do a show for us? Our ring announcer can't do it. And I did it, and they went, "Oh, can you stay?" Okay, sure, I can stay. And then it was an absolute show. I met a wonderful man by the name of Andrew Bowers, who runs North Wrestling. This absolute was a family show. Said we do an adult show. We've got a ring announcer. We need some commentary. Do you do commentary? I do commentary. I did commentary for North. I then shoehorned myself into North by doing a pre-show game show, because at the time they had like sort of Q&As. Matthew from Botchamania would host Q&As with the wrestlers on the card. And they were fine, they were good, but they wanted to try something different. And I kind of came up with this pitch. I'm always of the belief that just stick your hand out there, stick your head above the parapet, and just see what happens. And I sort of pitched this idea for a game show called A Question of North, where it was the most ludicrous thing. I'd get wrestlers doing impressions of other wrestlers. We had a bunch of challenges with the fans as well. There was a fastest finger first time. It was still very silly, and people really got into it. And that was kind of my role at North. And then Stevie Aaron, who used to ring announce, stepped away for a show or two, and they went, "Would you be up for doing the ring announcing as well?" And I did the ring announcing, and then I ended up being the ring announcer for North. And so I'm very, very blessed in that I'll go in, I'll do a very nice job, and then people will go, "Could you come and do some more?" And it's also because of all of this that I got to do the wonderful work I do with Cultaholic Wrestling, because I was ring announcing for North when the Cultaholic lads, as they were, because I wasn't there at the beginning of all that. I never worked for What Culture. I wasn't there in the inception of Cultaholic. I was a later edition, and they came along to a show, and they'd watch me ring announcing, and they'd watch the quiz show and stuff. And Adam Pacitti has said, "We'd love the opportunity to do some work with you. You're really good at this." The lads went to, a bunch of the lads from Cultaholic went to cover AEW Double or Nothing, and it meant they were short on people in the office. So Adam said, "Would you be up for doing some of the news videos on our channel for a week while they're away?" Now, this is in the same week that I've been told that I was being let go from Heart. They're making big old changes. Everything was going national. No bad blood, all love. They were super nice to me all the way there and all the way out. I've got no ill will about the radio industry. You get a lot of, like in wrestling, you get a lot of tired old radio arseholes who always have some whinge about. You won't get that from me. I'll stuff about wrestling and ring announcing that I'll have a little gripe about, but on the whole, it's all love. And so it was timed well. I was only meant to be there for a couple of days. And it's so funny, Nikki, talking to you and saying all this stuff out loud. I go, wow, how charmed am I? Because I did this for a week. And then Adam went, "We'd like to offer you a full-time job." I was like, "Oh, right. Oh, okay." And then so it just, as that one job was ending, this one began. And it's meant because of the association with Cultaholic, I do believe, and I think some of the groundwork I put in early on as well, more opportunities in ring announcing have opened up to me since then. And I am forever grateful to be in a position where, like, Monday to Friday or Tuesday to Saturday, I'm reporting on wrestling, and then my weekends are now so full, as is my heart, with going and meeting new wrestling people and ring announcing for a whole bunch of new companies all over the country. So that's the story. Thanks for coming. Buy a t-shirt.
See, that's
your breath.
It's such an inspiring story, because I think you are the pinnacle. You are who every ring announcer, interviewer, everything, we all, I speak for myself as well, we all look up to Tom Campbell. We all want to reach Tom Campbell heights.
Well, honestly, if I can reach him, anyone can. Like, seriously, that means, and I don't want to brush that off. That's really kind of you to say, and thank you so much. Like, I'm so flattered. I'm just a guy who loves what I do, and I'm a student of it, and I have strong opinions on it, which I'm sure we'll get to. But all I ever want to do is come in and do a really good job for the people that I'm working for, and the fact that I have so many of my peers who will reach out and just and say nice things about me. I did a gig, and I hope I'm not speaking out of turn. I did a gig for a wonderful a wonderful company in Essex called CXW. They do a family show called CPW. They do an adult show, and they're doing this great thing where they'll be doing like an adult, a family show in the afternoon and an adult show in the evening. It's a really nice system. And they brought me in to do their extreme hardcore deathmatch show. This is like a day after I'd done like a family show in Barnsley. It's the duality of man. And but the reason that had come about was because they were looking for, because Paris, who's the promoter, and I've got a lot of love for Paris. He was super kind to me when I went down. He was really supportive, and he's just a good egg. And I went down, and as I've heard, was he put out the word that we need a ring announcer for this show coming up. And apparently the WhatsApp group was full. Get Tom Campbell, get Tom Campbell, get Tom Campbell, get Tom Campbell. And I've heard a couple of stories like that, and I never ever take them for granted. Like how charmed and how blessed am I that people who I've never met are putting me forward for these great gigs. I did a fabulous event at King's Cross Station just the other week for Lonely, and which we can get into in a bit if you want. But the reason that came about again is because a guy, Bullet, who I'd worked with on the pilot for the reboot of World of Sport, we'd worked together once. We'd probably had a handful of conversations, but he went, I'd love to put you forward for that. Because you're good at what you do. So I'm blessed. I'm ever so blessed. And so when you say stuff like that, like I don't take that for granted, and I'm very grateful. So thank you.
Oh, so how did you get into doing weddings and stuff? That kind of like being a wedding MC, like that must be totally different to wrestling.
It is and it isn't. So the first wedding I emceed was for Andrew Bowers. He's getting married, and he went, would you be up for like doing some announcements stuff at my wedding? I said, I'll be a master of ceremonies. I'm not qualified as a celebrant yet. That's on the cards for this year. That's what I'm looking to do. So it means I can actually officiate weddings proper.
Wow.
But a master of ceremonies will be the one that will kind of set the tone for the room. It will be an assistant on the day for the couple and for the wedding party to sort of guide people where they need to go, to lift the room, to guide the room, to introduce the couple at the wedding breakfast, to start the speeches, to start the evening to announce the beginning of the first dance. It's an extra that people have on their weddings. That I know the price of weddings ratchets up from my own wedding. That it was just left us and our accountant in tears. But it's a really nice little extra that people do like to add to their wedding. So I did Andrew Bowers' wedding. And again, because it was a wrestling-y theme, and he had a wrestling ring, and a wrestling match broke out at the evening do. So I was part of all of that stuff. But again, when you talk about the difference between them and whether they're a different species, I've done Andrew Bowers' wedding, and I did another wedding last year in Carlisle for a lovely couple who were wrestling fans. The guy used to wrestle himself, and they wanted like a wrestling-y style vibe for it. So like I introduced him into the ceremony with his like wrestling ring announcer name. He came out with the title on, and then you introduce them into the room. And you go, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, it is my pleasure to welcome the new Mr. and Mrs. So there's a lot of wrestling elements that you can chuck in if you want to. But then I'm doing some this year for people who aren't necessarily wrestling fans, who just have seen my work and gone, we just want, just something to lift the room and get people talking. And another part of what I do as well with it is I will offer services for writing speeches, because I know that's a bit of a nerve-wracking thing for some people. They won't quite know where to start. So kind of I do this wedding package where I'll do all your MC stuff. We'll have a couple of consultations in the build up to it. And then if you're struggling with writing your speech, then we'll write your speech as well. And so there's elements of that where it's little skill sets that I've got that I like to enhance the day. So it was Andrew Bowers that I did the first one for, and then I did another one. It was for another wrestling fan, and while I was at that one, the photographer spoke to me and said, "Where are you from?" I said, I'm from Newcastle. He said, no, like, do you work for an agency? I said, no, this is just something I just do every so often. And then she went like, because you're brilliant. Like, what can I take some cards off? I said, I don't have any. Swapped Instagrams and bless her, she put me forward to a couple of her clients who were getting married. She's a wedding photographer, fabulous wedding photographer, and she put my name forward for a couple of her clients and said, if you want to get an MC, get this guy. So through Kerry, I found a bit of work there as well. So it's another little string to the bow where things have just enhanced a little bit. And I turned 42 in January, and my wife winds me up about this all the time because I had this bit of a weird crisis when I hit 40. Because I kind of went, well, that's it now. That's end game. I've done as much as I can. Everyone's going to want younger models. Everyone's going to want a different, like a younger, fresher outlook on things. And I think that's my time done. And that's okay. I'm kind of at peace with that. And then lo and behold, my 40s in the last two years of my 40s have been probably busier than the last 5 years of my 30s. So it's and Nikki, I know it's something that you're kind of in that realm now, and I think you're feeling it too, based on stuff I've seen you doing. It goes from here to here so quickly. Like you'll be trying, and you'll spend ages. You'll be trying to find it in and plug away, and all of a sudden something will happen, and then something else, and like within a couple of weeks, like, oh my god, like the diary's full. Like, how did it's annoying because you could plug away at something for years and nothing will happen. It'll take one tweet, one video, one conversation, and all of a sudden the entire world opens up and you go, and that was the issue I had, where I kind of threw all these things out there, like event hosting work, wedding MC and ring announcing, radio work, commentary, and then all the chickens came home to roost all at the same time. And like my diary, I've got Google Calendar now. I'm awful with dates. We have in our house, I have Google Calendar for my work stuff. We have an app called Coupler, me and my wife, which is for like stuff that we're doing together, because she forgets dates and stuff as easy as I do. So we've got Coupler. So when we book in like a date night, it pops up, oh, you've got this date night coming up, which is so we've got that, and we've got like an actual calendar in our kitchen with my nephews on. So we've got 3 different places that we write stuff down. Yet somehow we still missed that we were going to go for dinner last night until the restaurant called and asked where we were. Well, we got 3 different apps and we do it, and we somehow still missed out. So apologies to Coleman's in South Shields. We were meant to join you for dinner last night, and we'd had such a heavy night on Saturday that we didn't get in till 2. And then I went to do the shift on Radio Newcastle, and then we were sat on the sofa watching The Last Kingdom, and went, I forgot. All those calendars.
My calendar is color coordinated with like my stuff, my kids' stuff, work stuff. I have to color coordinate everything. You're
a worker, you're a wife, you're a yummy mummy, so you've got so many other things in there that you've got to think about. Like that's, and so I guess color coding's the right way to do it.
It is. Purple is work, and yellow is my youngest, and because I've got like so much going on with school, and there's just it's crazy trying to balance it all.
It's what we call it's a champagne problem. It's a champagne problem to go. Oh my God, look how busy we are. Look how many jobs that we've got. Look how much like work and money we've got coming in. How terrible.
It's like I'll book tickets for a show, and then I'll be like, oh, I've bought these tickets, but I'm working that day on a different show, and it's just it gets crazy.
So you haven't had a chance to do the double yet?
No.
Oh, they're always fun.
I
hosted a Sonic the Hedgehog fan convention in York a few years ago.
The other tick off the box.
The other tick off the box. It was like a UK fan fest, and they had all the writers and artists from Sonic the Comic from back in the 90s. So I got to have a huge geek out and meet a guy called Richard Elson, who was like my ultimate Sonic the Hedgehog artist. And I got to hang out and chat with him for a bit and host like a Q&A panel with him and a few of the other writers as well. Oh my God, so much fun. But I had North that day. And the North, I had to literally, like, the pre-show at North was at 6:10, and I was coming in from York, and then the train I was going to get that was going to get me on time was cancelled. So I messaged Andrew and said, look, I'm all fine. I'm on my way. it's going to be a bit tight, but I'm on my way. And I remember I got changed into my ring announcing gear on the train. Spray the key areas, always wash where you can, dear God, it's the wrestling show, just wash. Get into the venue. I literally walk through, said hello to a few people, shook a few people's hands, walked straight backstage, walked to the gorilla position where Andrew Bowers put a mic in my hand as he pressed go on Benji's music. And I went, is it Benji versus it? Yeah, cool, got it. Walks out, hey, following contest. It was like that. And then I thought I'll get the first match done, and then I've got a good 15 minutes to figure out what we're doing next, and we'll just fly by the seat of our pants.
Oh my God.
I've had so many days like that where it's all just been frantic and it's all my own making. Like there's been times where like we at Cultaholic we do like live reactions to big shows in America. So for a while I was doing live reactions to the AEW events, which, as we all know, go on for 4 days. And I was doing reactions to, I think it was Full Gear, but I was doing the breakfast show on BBC Radio Newcastle at 6 a.m. And I went, as long as this show finishes by 5, that's fine. So it finished at like 4:45. So like I said, I literally, as they're signing off, I'm booking an Uber. I'm like, right, bye. And I got to BBC Newcastle and I made a coffee, sat there, did this, got this, there's a wonderful team of producers with BBC Newcastle who keep me right. So thankfully I got there and they went, right, that's all sorted. You're doing that. This guest is booked in for them. This guest, brilliant. Thank you. I apologize. If I'm a bit useless today, we'll get through it together. And I think I was on the adrenaline. I was running on the adrenaline until about 7:30, and I just bang it. I went, oh no. Oh, no. My body can't keep up anymore. And I don't remember how I managed to get to the end of that show, but every minute felt like half an hour. But we got through it and we had a lovely time because it's on Sunday where we have the gardening program for an hour. So I got to host Garden Mania with the wonderful Marianne Foster and John Guy, and they're the experts, so they take all the questions. I'm just there to kind of guide it and tech up it, and then just make silly. And I think because I was tired, I was extra silly on that show, and I think they did say they did say we like working with Tom. He's quite naughty, not rude, but like when Marianne Foster says that, when you comes to garden, make sure that you focus on the clematis, you can't help but make a comment. And when John Guy at one point was chatting to a caller, and he said, "Oh, of course, there's 450 different types of tulip," and I just went, "Oh yeah, smart guy, name them." So I was just a bit silly that day, but I think they quite enjoyed it. I think we all quite enjoyed it. I've done it since, so we always have a laugh when I'm in because I think it's such radio. Some elements of radio can be so serious and so heavy.
I think that's the same with like a lot of things, like wrestling as well. Like when I'm hosting, I try and make it a little bit silly because sometimes, like in commentary as well, there has to be that fun element to it because sometimes some people just take it way too serious. And like, I love your style. Like, I absolutely love your style. Like, I watched you at North and I was just in awe. I was like, I'm never gonna be that good.
Yes, but you can be. The big thing for me when it comes to commentary is I'm there to be sort of like the conduit between the wrestlers and the fans. The wrestlers will tell their story. It's my job to kind of G up the fans and get them ready. Yeah. I see like there's ring announcers out there that are exceptional, but sometimes because they talk too much about nothing, they lose the room. And it's our job, Nikki, as ring announcers, to keep the room and lift the room and bring them up. So I did a show where I was told that normally there's like a 20-minute break for the raffle. And I went, why is the raffle 20 minutes? of interest? Is it? Do you need it to be? And they went, oh no, it's just the guy who does it. Normally does he does a little bit of comedy and does a little bit of this and messes with you. And I went, are we running over? It's a little bit. I could do it in 5. Do it in 5. And they went, you can't. And then it was like, you can't do the raffle in 5 minutes. Went, yeah, you can.
Watch me.
2. It's reading out 3 numbers. You can, but of course the double whammy is whenever I do the raffle. It's only when I started doing the raffle that I remember something really key about me that I don't reference or mention until we get to it. As I dig my hand into the pot and I pull out the number and I can see the colors and the number, that is when I go, actually, I'm colorblind. Could someone tell me what color that is? I'm not like no, I'm not like full colorblind like those. I've got mates who live like they're in Sin City, the movie, where everything's a lovely shade of grayscale. But like there's like blues and greens and reds and pinks all merged for me. So I'll take out something that I'll think is red, but it's cream. And so therefore I'll go to either the ref in the ring or someone else at ringside who's part of the show, and I just go, can you tell me what color that is? Which is a fun little bit, and we own it on the show. Can you tell me what color that is? Blue 19. You've won a DVD. Well done.
Well, that's the thing. You can just run with that, can't you? Make it part.
That's it. But I've always, but the big thing for me has always been, obviously we have fun along the way, and then we'll point out people in the crowd. But the big thing for me is if my job is done if the crowd are loud and on their feet and excited during the matches. If the crowd are losing their mind during the matches, the wrestlers will obviously do that. And I'm not saying for a second that I do anything half as big as the wrestlers do. That's them. But in terms of getting them primed for what is to come and getting their energy up, we had a surprise match at North on Saturday. And I love that opportunity when you know there's an extra match. And I go, how do we get the absolute best out of the North faithful? And I know they're going to love it, but how do we milk that a little bit and make it fun? Yeah. And I did this whole bit where they don't know there's a match called the main. So I come out and I go, it is now time for your main event of the evening. Big cheer, let it sit. I go, is what I should be saying right now, but I'm not. And I left it for a minute. They went, what? And then we just announced Rhino for Thunderstruck 4. Tickets available at northwrestling.co.uk. Rhino making his North Wrestling debut at the Wacker Dome in Newcastle. And so I said, we've just announced Rhino, one of the best big men in the US. Who would like to find out right now who the best big man in European wrestling is today? Wait, who wants to see a heavyweight showdown right now? Because you've been so fucking wonderful, the following contest is an exclusive heavyweight showcase match. And it was Rampage Brown, which everybody went wild for. And then Rampage Brown comes out and we go, and his opponent, and you let it sit and you let it breathe. And then out comes Will Cruz, who hasn't been part of North for ages. And we just we knew that was going to get loves, but it was going to. But there's an element of what you and I do as ring announcers, Nikki. There's an element of what we do that allows you to take something that could get to 100, and with a little bit of spice and a little bit of help from yourself, you could take it to 150. Or if it gets to 150, you could take it to 200. You can put that little extra stamp on it, and it's about feeling the energy of the room and lifting the energy in the room, and that is where I thrive. When there's stuff like that where you know that you want to, sometimes it's things that you'll need to tell the crowd that they're not going to bite on. I don't know whether you've ever had to do this yet, but when you're announcing another show, but the show isn't there. So it was like in Newcastle when the show is in Leeds, right? Yeah. And it happened like this, like North is, we're in a really exciting time where Newcastle will always be our homestead, always be our home. Our roots are deeply buried in the Geordie, in Geordie land, and that'll never change. But then when you have the opportunity to go and like take North to Leeds, take North to Glasgow, take North to London. Why not? Give it a go. But you know that when you make those announcements that tickets are going to go on sale, the crowd aren't going to be over the moon with it. And so you have to kind of temper the reaction in a way where you don't bury what's happening on the show, but you make sure you either make a point to go, I need all of you to get there and show them what a true Geordie crowd are like and make all the noise and we're going to show, or you make the announcement and then you go, but in May, we are here and we are doing this. You can always edit it in post, but I always think that you just, if you know you're going to drop something on them that they're not going to, that the crowd aren't going to really enjoy, make sure that you give them something really cool off the back of it. Get them back in the room and get them back in the mood and get them back on side. Because I get it. Because I get why there is that frustration when something is announced that it's not with you. I get it, and I think I'd be in the crowd booing as well. Because I went to a 5-star wrestling show at the Newcastle Arena many moons ago, and the opening goddamn segment of that show was Rey Mysterio and AJ Styles doing a contract signing for a match 2 nights later in Sheffield. Of course, everyone booed it. Why? Of course,
you want to see the match.
We want to see that in Newcastle. Of course, we're going to boo it. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? It's tough. It was like I did a show in Liverpool where they were announcing there was going to be a tag team title match in Wolverhampton the following night on the tour. And they said the champs are going to come out, they're going to hold up the belts and do all this, and then you're going to announce it's in Wolverhampton. And I went, you know they're going to hate it. You know they're going to hate it. And they went, oh, no, it'll be fine. I said, no, I promise you, they're going to hate it. Not the fact that it's the title. The titles are gorgeous, the match is class, but they're going to hate that it's not here. So I will do that, but let me do something that brings them back after. So we'll get the moment, but then I'll do something to bring them back. And that's part of the challenge and the work that we do. And it is work. I think when you do it right, there is an element of work to it, but there's a great satisfaction when you get the room like lifted like that.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever, this is going to sound really serious and really like I've got issues. Have you ever, as an announcer, had like talent, basically, you're just an announcer?
How do you mean? Like
you're not as pivotal to the show as.
I've never had anyone say that to my face. I think there is. I think because the wrestlers are there to do their thing, and they are they're on the posters, they're on the flyers, they're on the video packages. People are there to see the wrestlers. If you think they're there to see, and I'd like to think that when you put my face on a poster, I'm debuting somewhere new. Maybe someone might buy a ticket. That's fine, and you offset the cost to make the art in Photoshop. Maybe that, but I think that the wrestlers are there to sell it. I think there's with some promotions and some places, there is a lack of understanding of the significance of a great ring announcer and a great MC. I think it's just a case of one of those jobs where I'd company approached me and say, we love what you do. We love you can work for us. I went, okay, here's my exorbitant fee. And they went, oh, we've got a guy in our training center that will do it for £20. I went, okay, we'll get them to do it then. That's fine. And then they did, and then they got, and I don't know I don't know the talent in question or whatever, but I'm fairly sure they got a trainee for £20 to do their ring announcing, and for that they got a trainee doing their ring announcing for £20. There's the price and there's the cost, and I think because of this, because there's a lot of promotions that will focus on the wrestling, which absolutely is front and center, but won't really put too much thought into the stuff around it, like the wonderful videography teams, the wonderful photography teams, the excellent referees that work on the scene that get nowhere near enough flowers, no matter how many flowers we give them. The dedication of putting together a commentary team that are going to be rock solid, sell the show and make it feel like the biggest game in town, and a ring announcer that is going to make every match feel special and make that main event feel like it is the center of the goddamn universe. They don't put much, as some promotions, not all, that don't put as much thought into that. They go, oh, but we've got got this brilliant match and the crowd will just love it. But there's so many other elements to it that do it. And I think because there's a lot of promotions that still don't make those investments in other places, they're not seen as important. So why would a wrestler in some cases see the ring announcer as important? It all depends on the context. Yeah. It depends on the context of the conversations that you've had. I've certainly never had that myself. All my conversations have generally been quite respectful, because I'll normally before a show, I will have watched the wrestlers in question, watch how they've been announced by other announcers before, and gone in with an idea of how they want to be announced. So my opening gambit will be to them, hi, this is what I've got for you from here, this. And sometimes they'll go, perfect. And that's the whole, sometimes it'll just be perfect. And that's the whole conversation we'll have. Some will go, oh, actually, I've not been called that in 6 months. I went, cool. Then what would you like it to be? Or in some cases, they'll go, actually, I want to try something new. I went, I'm all up for trying something new. What do we reckon? There's been times as well where I've actually even workshopped with talent how they want to be announced, because there's been younger talent who have gone, oh, I've never been like announced properly before. I said, well, let's work on it. And then we go off for a couple of minutes and we workshop it and we go, well, this is the character. So let me check your Instagram. It says here that this is in your bio. Can we add that in there? And I'll normally sort of give them an example of how it will sound. And they'll go, yeah, that's great. So it gives them a bit of onus on it, a little bit of ownership to it. And so I've never had anybody dismiss my role outside of going, we'll get someone to do it for 20 quid. Yeah. That's fine. You'll get someone for 20. It's like I could buy AirPods, or I could buy those things that look like AirPods on Temu, because they're $99. Spoiler, I bought the latter and they broke immediately.
We're going to go to an Instagram question now.
Oh, okay.
So, have you ever had any mishaps pronouncing names? Example, Jeff Harvey.
I love Jeff Harvey. God bless him. Let me think. Yes, I've had a couple. So early in my ring announcing career, I announced a sort of Legends night at the Six Ways Rugby Club in Worcester, and on the card was Johnny Saint versus Johnny Kidd. And that felt like the biggest match I'd ever done at that point. It was like a rounds match, so I had to announce the rounds and everything. Oh my God! And I announced Johnny Kidd, and then I give the big legend announcement. And then I do Johnny, and his opponent fighting out of London he is a world of sport pro wrestling legend. He is an icon of British wrestling, and he is here for one final time here. Please welcome Johnny Kidd Saints. And it was just like people laughed, and we were filming it, so I went, can we do that one more time for the video? Right. And I think when you make mistakes like that, and it's happened a few times, I think as long as it doesn't slow everything down, I think if you own it and you're in it and you nudge and wink to the audience and go, yeah, can we give that another go? They reacted twice as loud when I got it right. Yeah. And that's the one that we're going to keep. The other weekend, I did, this isn't a wrestler's name per se, but it's an announcing blunder. I announced I got my debut at Wrestling Resurgence in Leicester. What a lovely bunch of people in the Y Theatre. What a fantastic venue. Great crowd. Lovely promotion. They were so kind to me and they were so supportive. It was wonderful. And we'd had a couple of team meetings, so I had an idea what was happening on the card. I went, oh, cool, we're opening with a tag match. Get in. Brilliant. So therefore, that's in my head. I go, well, that's a great opener because I can do this big lead in where I'll go main event. We got the Cara Noir versus Kanji. We've got the Art House title on the line, but we are kicking things off here tonight. So I did this big intro where we talked about the big matches of the night, and I thought, this is my first time here. I'm killing this. Let's go. And we go, but we are kicking things off with our opening contest, and it is for the Wrestling Resurgence Tag Team Championships. Ref leans into my ear. We've changed it. What? We've changed it.
Oh, no.
We had a meeting about 10 minutes before and went, let's swap these matches round. And I just assumed that everybody was in the meeting, but I was elsewhere. So I missed that. And I went, so I just said, we've changed it. And everyone laughs then. And I went, what? So I just, then you go, all right. You can die on the vine, and you can be annoyed about it, or everyone's laughing, and you just go, all right, what match are we doing? Can I have a look at your thing? Is it? I went, hang on one second. I have my notes. I went, is it that one? It's that one. That one.
Oh,
then
love it.
rolled into it, and then later in the night, I was able to go. The following contest, now I can definitely tell you, is for. And we did it, and they cheered twice as loud because I got it right. And God bless John, the promoter, because I went and sat down at my seat. I came over and I kind of smiled and looked at him. He went, I'm so sorry. We thought you were in that meeting as well. I said, it's all good. I said, can you just do me a solid? Just look through this and just tell me, is that all right for the rest of the night? That and that. Well, fantastic. That's fine. Mistakes happen. They absolutely do. I've seen, and it's frustrating when you're in there because you feel like you're all eyes are on you and everybody immediately hates you, but it's all in how you come back from it. Like, you can feel annoyed about it afterwards, and there's been times where I've bringing out stuff and I've gone home and gone, I wish I'd done that a bit differently. But in the moment, I think people find it funny when you show the wires, as long as you don't completely slow everything down, as long as you don't kind of make it all about you all the time and kind of bring it back to what you're there to do. Ultimately, people forgive, and it's quite funny to look back on. It's something that people remember, and I think it in a weird way, when you make mistakes, I'm not encouraging you to make mistakes. God damn it, do your research on everything. But sometimes things happen, things change, and you don't know. And I've been in the ring sometimes and been told, I had someone come in and go, we're doing that match instead of that match, and I've gone, okay, cool, right. Do that. So mistakes happen, things change. You have to roll with it. You can't be weird about it. And in a weird way, sometimes when things like that happen, if you're able to roll with it, smile through it, and get through it, I think it endears people to you a bit more. And also management as well, who go, actually, that was a big problem that we had, and he was a big part of dealing with that in the best way possible. So it's okay to make mistakes. If you come away and go, oh, I got that wrestler's weight wrong. I undersold. Who was it? It was your man from the Grizzled Young Veterans, and his name has fallen out of my head. How terrible is that?
Zach or James?
Zach Gibson. Sorry, Zach. Your name. That's awful, isn't it? That's awful. I just can remember all the words to Gangster's Paradise, but I've forgotten Zach's name. I undersold, and there you go. It happens. But this is why you write all of it down. Even if you know every wrestler on the card, even if you know every single person, intimately or not, if you know them all, even write everything down, because I've been in the ring like that. Then I've been in the ring before and gone, oh, I've forgotten Rio's name. Not that bad, but like I always have it.
I am a notes person. I've got so many notes.
Absolutely. You can never make too many notes. Always go in over prepared as opposed to under prepared. I would always rather be over prepared and have so much that I don't need. And so I got Zach Gibson's weight wrong by like 150 pounds. I made him like an ultra cruiserweight, and because I got it off Cage Match and I didn't go and speak to him and check it over with him. Had I done that, we would have had that laugh of a moment backstage rather than him being really cross as he walked to the ring. Adds to it and enhances. But then I think the mistake then is, unless the wrestler gives you carte blanche to do it, I then didn't re-announce it on that occasion. I just let it happen. He was annoyed. I thought we can edit it in post. It'll spoil the flow if it becomes about me and him. And afterwards he came out and he went, where'd you get that from? Like, Cage Match? It's shite they are. I went, okay, that's good to know. I wasn't getting early on in my Newcastle run that we had Zach Gibson up. But yeah, so mistakes happen, and I've made a few. I will no doubt make more, and that's as long as you're doing everything you can to prevent it, then that's fine. Just prep as much as you can. But mistakes will inevitably happen, and it's not how you fall; it's how you get back up.
That is it. Now, someone else wants to know, what's your recommended flavour of Campbell's soup?
Oh, it's funny because my surname's Campbell. That's so good. They should do a Netflix series, because you get these comedians. Hey, do you know what? You should write for a Netflix series because your comedy is A plus. Like, oh my God. Hang on. Wait 1 second. Hang on. That's the Sydney Opera House calling. They've offered you a 7-month run. My flavour is your mum flavour. No.
Just leave it at that now.
No, I do have a favourite flavour, to be fair. I'm happy to say that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the big broth one they do. It's not really a flavour, but they do like the big broth with all the big vegetables and potatoes and stuff in it. Like on a cold winter's night when I can't be buggered to cook, that and some grilled cheese sandwiches. Oh, there you go. That's the stuff. I feel weird saying that because looking outside of the window here of Newcastle upon Tyne, it is a gorgeous blue sky sunny day. So I don't think I'm having Campbell soup for the next 6 months. I'm not going to have Campbell soup again until my oven is right again.
Right. Going off your name, we're going to go straight into the game.
Oh, I like that.
Right. So this is the Cult of Campbell. You get it? Cultaholic.
Sydney Opera House are called. They want you 6 months now.
Yes, I made it.
In prison.
Right. Question 1.
Yeah.
If we had to have matching robes, would you prefer ominous linen or apocalyptic velvet?
Okay. My jacket's velvet, and I ain't never changing the velvet jacket, unless it's a deathmatch show. I've now got a deathmatch attire, which I'm very excited about. And it was at the CXW show. I've got like a denim jacket, denim jeans, and some big boots, and the promotions T-shirt. And the photographer there, I said, "Can you do me some deathmatch promo shots?" And it's just me giving the finger.
Love it.
My deathmatch. I was like, the duality of man, family show. Which one do you want to book? That one's twice as much. So velvet for the jacket, but the robe. I think the other one, the former linen. I think linen. Yeah. Yeah. I think first one, velvet for the jacket.
From a scale of 1 to eternal devotion, how would you feel about synchronized chanting before a coffee?
Just how long's the chant?
It didn't specify.
Okay.
Like a 2-minute chant.
If we could do it in like 30 seconds.
Probably. If you can get a raffle down to 5 minutes. Then
I just think 2 minutes, your coffee's going cold.
Yeah.
Oh, you said coffin, didn't you? Not coffee.
No, coffee. Not coffee.
They must have coffee. I don't know where you go. It's a cold thing. See, you make mistakes and then you've rolled them through and you crack on with your day. I'll say 30 seconds so the coffee doesn't go cold.
Yeah. How easily could you pretend a folding chair is sacred?
Very. I'm really good at cowering away from wrestlers. As is one to do. As a ring announcer, you should never size up the wrestlers like I saw one ring announcer do. And I went, what are you doing? You're the ring announcer. You can't start on the champion. That's weird. I'm good at cowering away from wrestlers, so I think I could make a chair very sacred.
Yeah.
There is a magic about the folding chair that as a wrestling fan, whenever you go somewhere and they've got folding chairs lined up, your brain just goes to that place, go, some chairs.
Yep.
You want to pick them up and hit someone with them every single time.
Would you sign a loyalty oath if it came with snacks?
Can the loyalty oath be in blood?
Yes.
What snacks?
Quavers.
Are they the prawn cocktail ones?
Oh, they're the best ones.
Then no, I never would. Yeah, why not? I don't mind the prawn cocktail ones. They're nice.
Oh, I like the prawn cocktail.
On your tongue a bit better than the regular ones.
How good would you be at slow, dramatic walking through a forest?
Fantastic. There's a weird version of me that exists when I have certain music on and I'm walking. I've noticed it. and I think I could put on the right kind of ambience music, and I could walk slowly through a forest. And there's a chap, 14 Media, I want to say. If I've got that wrong, I'm ever so sorry. He does these lovely little slow motion videos of wrestlers backstage. It's not Beyond Gorilla. He does his own ones, and Beyond Gorilla is fantastic. Yeah. He's to get a Beyond Gorilla photo it's like the Ribera Steakhouse of photos. Yeah. To get one from him. So when I worked with him, and I was like, oh my God, I'm getting a Beyond Gorilla photo. This is like amazing. And I was like, they are fantastic photos. And I went, can I give you some money and just have them forever and just send them to other promoters? Because I look far better in them than I do in real. And then 14 Media does something similar where he will film, he'll do like slow motion videos of people. I didn't know he was at Josh Barnett's Bloodsport when I was ring announcing for them. And then this video popped up. I was like, it was a slow motion 14 Media. I was like, oh my God, yes! Oh, it made my camera fall slightly off of the selfie stick. That's how excited it was. That's how I felt. That is how I felt. That is how I felt. I told you it's a shambolic operation. That is how I felt. So yeah, and after seeing that, it confirms what I already knew. I would look brilliant walking slowly through a forest.
There we go. Do you have a signature stare? Did I say yes? It's totally making me uncomfortable now.
That's the signature part.
How many candles is too many candles?
Anything over 40. Jesus Christ. Yes, I didn't sign up to this.
Last one. Is a pyramid scheme still a scheme if the pyramid is sacred?
Funny enough, I spoke to somebody about this, and they said that pyramid schemes aren't what you think they are. And he said, tell you what, for 50 quid, you can... And I've got a whole cupboard full of pyramid schemes, and I'm 30 grand in debt. It's all worked out for him. I think, it's still a pyramid scheme. I think even if it's sacred, it's still a pyramid scheme. They reckon they found more pyramids. This isn't a joke. I've heard they found more pyramids.
Where?
In Egypt. I'm sure I read that somewhere. There was no. So they found this pyramid, right? There's a documentary about it. There's this pyramid that they found, and they've gone through, and underneath it, like way underneath it, is a series of tunnels, and the tunnels lead to this one crypt, and in the middle of the crypt, they've opened it up, which is risky because it's all very voodoo-y. They've opened it up. And this noteworthy Egyptian gentleman had been buried with chocolate and nuts all the way to the top. He was a Pharaoh Rocher.
Oh, I'm crying.
Who are they?
Right. Get a bit more serious now, because I have had two questions. I have two questions from our beloved wrestling Jeebus.
I love Jeebus. What a boy!
You are amazing, and he loves you.
Did he do the Campbell soup thing?
No. These are Jeebus special. So, what's the most creative intro you've ever been given for a wrestler? Okay,
most creative intro. Well, the thing is, I'm rarely given intro. Am I giving them? I'm rarely given. Obviously, people give me like the things they want me to say, but I'll always have a little bit of fun with them myself. But I think, oh gosh, it sounds really bad. I'm trying to think of now who's been particularly creative. I think Kuro, who has a fantastic entrance, which I've heard in English, but I preferred it in French. And I said to him, would you mind if I did your intro in French?
Wow.
and I had a go in French. So that was, if I still got it on my, I might have it on my phone, so I might not be able to access it, but sometimes I will write stuff on my Google Notes and I'll have them here. Here we go. Yes. Here we go. Présentez d'abord, il est devenu un régent parisien. Il est plus stylé, les plus emblématiques. C'est lui de mer, Mr. Hype Kuro. So that's nice, saying that in French. Who else has had very creative one? Nathan Black, I think, gives me points for the energy I give on size.
Yeah, I can imagine.
His entrance, where he invites you to look at the goddamn size of him. So the more I give it socks there, the happier he is with that. Apologies to the neighbours. Who else has really... Like, nothing massively like over the top and over creative, but just you kind of sort of fall into these weird little moments with people. Like when during Leon Slater's run, that was where I started doing for X amount of days, reigning, defending, undisputed North Wrestling champion, and the days kept ratcheting up. You put more and more effort into it, and to the point where, like, I think I put a video together and you could just sort of see the evolution of that announcement from 25 days up to like from 864. Like you ramp it up. So stuff like that has always been good. It's a really boring answer, Jeebus. I'm ever so sorry. Chances are I'll turn this off and I'll be sat in the pub in a bit and I'll go, God, that was a good one. Why didn't I say that one? I like to have fun in kind of workshopping with entrances with people and taking and a lot of the times it isn't really how dramatic and big the entrances are. It's just how you can put your own little twist on them and make them special. We get Ian Skinner come to our place, and I still think, and I might be wrong, so forgive me if I'm wrong. If you're a ring announcer that does this, I apologize. I still think I'm the only announcer in the country that goes, Ian Skinner! I don't think anyone
I love that. Oh.
I just thought that's an easy one. I announced Natalie Sykes to North, but then I listened to Simon Cassidy announce her as Natalie Sykes, and I thought that works as well. But that's Simon's thing. I'm not going to take Simon's thing. That's Simon's thing.
He also wants to know if you've ever been starstruck announcing someone.
Oh, got proper goosebumpy when I announced Scotty Too Hotty for the first time. That was cool. Because he was one of the guys that I grew up watching. That was amazing. Yeah. Doing the Impact Tour was really special. It sounds bad. I don't feel like I get massively starstruck as much as I'll always take a moment and go, really an honor to announce you. Thank you. But I don't feel like I get starstruck. I'll get excited. And I definitely get goosebumps, and I definitely get those moments where I go, oh my God, if young Tom could see what we're doing now, we're announcing an X Division title match. That is ludicrous. And so like those moments are great. Actually, I don't really get starstruck. I'll say that, but then I'll end up doing something daft and my head will fall off. No one's starstruck, but always get excited and a bit goosebumpy with some of them, especially. It's like with guys who I grew up watching, like Scotty. When we got to announce Gangrel, that was cool as fuck. I've only ever announced my best friend Jeff Jarrett at the start of My World Live. I've not announced him into a wrestling match yet. That is something that we're working on. I'd love to do that. Maybe Jeff. Maybe announcing Jeff for My World Live. I was quite starstruck. Was I starstruck? Nah, he's my best friend. Why would I be starstruck at my best friend? Just chatting to myself here, Nikki. Sorry. I haven't been truly starstruck yet, as far as I can remember. But it doesn't say at some point I absolutely won't be.
And I want to discuss. So obviously, I can see your T-shirts. We talked about
announcing the big strong man.
We talked about him a little bit before the show, but I do want to know: upcoming talent, like what you see on social media, upcoming talents and stuff, who do you rate right now? Who do you think's got a big future ahead of them?
Oh, Nikki, you've made a mistake there.
Oh,
because I've been seeing this post that Paul Walter Hauser put out where he wrote down all the names that he would book for his indie promotion if he had the money to do it. And I've seen other promotions doing it. I've seen other people doing it. I'm like, mine doesn't look like this. Mine looks silly. I am a big fan of great wrestling matches are the pinnacle of what we do, and it's an honor always to announce some of the best wrestling matches. That's great, but I'm a sucker for a character. I'm a sucker for a gimmick. I'm a sucker for something that is just silly, because I'm going to say it, and sometimes I say this, and there are some people who take life very seriously and get on my case for it, but I will say it. Wrestling is bollocks, Nikki. It is complete bollocks. It is such stupidity when you take it out and look at it from what it is. And that's why I love it, because it can be anything and everything. So there's characters that I've fallen in love with over the last couple of years, especially. So Big Strong Man. I met him a few years ago. We did a whole bit in a Rumble in Coventry together where I got to chuck him out of a Rumble. Silly. And then Alexis Falcon gave me a concussion. That was nice of her. No, it was a near concussion. I don't want to give her all the credit. Don't want to give her the satisfaction to give me an actual concussion. I will do there's a couple of people on my proper list. I'll do the proper list first. I'll do Alexis Falcon. I think is fantastic. She's had a brilliant 12 months. And I think people are finally starting to see what she is all about. And I'm really excited for her. I'm really excited to see where she goes from there. I don't think there'll ever be enough love for Liam Slater. I think he is one of the best wrestlers on the planet. And every time he's in there, it is an absolute lesson. Nathan Black, we've already mentioned him once already, I think is, based on when I first saw him, not too long ago, sort of post-pandemic, he was finding his feet. He is so in tune with who he is, and he's a really strong wrestler to boot as well. Like, there's a guy that you could build an empire around and would get behind. The fact that, everywhere you go where he is at, you see size t-shirts everywhere, speaks volumes for where he's at the moment. I'm a massive fan of what he does. I'm a big fan. Who else is on the scene? Kanji's fantastic. Like, Kanji's been fantastic for a long, long time, and especially in the last year or so, I think she's really bounced into her own. Big fan of what Lally are doing. Lana Austin and Holly Barlow have just told this story across multiple promotions about this kinship that was born of Holly Barlow wanting Lana to be her friend and be her tag partner, to the point where Lana Austin's now completely behind her all the way. And they've told that story across several companies. And I think that in this day and age, it's such a great story, such a simple story. They've told it ever so well. I'm a really big fan of that. I love what Charles Crowley's all about. I always like watching Charles Crowley, the magnificent twat that he is. I think he's just another guy that's just got a big personality that's just bursting out. I really like him at the moment. I would encourage everybody as well to watch any matches that feature Jay Joshua. I think Jay Joshua is really good. We watched him and Daz Black have the best opening match in North Wrestling history just the other day. And I don't say that lightly, because we've had some bangers. So he's ever so good. He is really, really good. There's loads, but those are some proper ones. I'm not saying that the names I'm saying they're not proper ones, but these are the list here are people who I really get behind the gimmick and the character and the presence of. And oh my God, if you are on this list and you're hearing my voice, I promise you, should I ever book a wrestling show, you are on it. We will make it work. You are on it, right? I want Big Strong Man on it. I absolutely in tune with exactly who he is and what he's all about. And the fact that within 60 seconds, a sometimes divisive North Wrestling fandom completely got behind him and chanted Big Strong Man. That says everything you ever need to know about how much upside we have with Big Strong Man. I want to give some love to Matthew M. Matix, who is a mathematician, professional wrestler based out of Nottingham, who hands out homework to the fans as he walks out. He is despicable. Matt M. Matix. I love him. And he's destined for really, really big things. Big fan of Matt M. Matix every single day of the week. I'm a big fan of the conductor of the Crazy Train, Oliver Sudden. For the name alone, I was sold.
All of a sudden, love it.
All of a sudden, he's based out of Cardiff, and he's just a really fun wrestler to watch. Like he's one of the taller, thicker set guys, moves really well, just gets the crowd on his side dead quick. And the train element of his character, he comes out to like the sound of the tannoy announcements, and I'm like, all of this is me. That's all of a sudden, you're through to London, kid. Fahrenheit, based out of the Northeast, comes out to Cream Don't Stop Me Now. His finisher is the temperature check, where he sticks his thumb up your bum.
Yep.
All about Fahrenheit. I was introduced the other day to a wrestler who is a badminton player, and his name is Badman Tom.
That's incredible.
You're on the list, Badman Tom. You're on the list. You might see there is a vibe.
Yeah.
To I'm booking my shows. Who else have I really enjoyed? There's I'll no doubt come off here and go, there's another 78 people that I could have mentioned. Oh my gosh. Meat Wagon. I think they called, please tell me they're called Meat Wagon. I met them when I did a charity show in Edinburgh just before Christmas. They're called the Meat Wagon, and they're just a lot of fun. Like big, high energy boys that bounce around. They were in a match against vegans. It told the story. It was brilliant.
I love this.
Like them a lot. There's I book Grado. If I'm booking a family show, I'm booking Grado without a shadow of a doubt. Like he's probably expensive, and he'll get there last, and he'll make us late. But I am absolutely booking Grado. Booking Grado. I want to book another Scottish team who I think are starting to move a bit further south. Natasha Swan and Jack Ripley, Risky Business.
Yeah, love them.
They're so good. Just capture the imagination of the audience. They have so much fun in there as well. Like envious of the kind of the energy they've got about them as well. I think they're fantastic. I really like them as well. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that I don't want to. I think for now that's everybody, but there will no doubt be more. If I've left you off there, I apologize. Oh, Conrad, the gambler. I'm really sorry. Dave Conrad, the gambler from Discovery Wrestling. You can tell I've got my screen open just to refresh my memory on some people. Dave Conrad, the gambler. He's great. I love him. Comes out to the gambler and cuts a mean promo. Really like his style. Kind of cowboy type boy. Big fan. Like it a lot. HMD. I'm booking HMD. This is getting expensive, this show.
It is getting very expensive.
I might just pay you all and run away. Like all good promoters do. They don't. HMD I really like. His gimmick is not silly enough for our lovely silly show, I'm afraid. So you don't make it. I will one more notable reference, then I'll definitely curb it. I want to book Caleb Valhalla, who is the wrestling Viking, because my wife likes Vikings and I like Vikings too. And that's it. And I like Caleb Valhalla's. I like the cut of his jib.
The cut of his jib. So
if you have a silly wrestling character, right, a wrestling persona that is a bit of a throwback, if you are a wrestler with another job, basically, please message me, because I will never tire of that sort of thing, and you'll be on the card as well. I've got to book a Rumble then in this case, because there's too many. I've got to book a Rumble. I'm gonna book. I saw somebody say it online the other day, and forgive me, I can't remember who. I'm going to book a Humble Rumble, in which I'm going to book a Rumble, but tell everybody in the Rumble that they're the one that's winning it, and I'm just going to wait and see what happens.
That is an amazing idea.
I feel like it was Warhorse that said that. I might be wrong.
Oh, what an idea! I love that.
Yeah. Warhorse, I'll book Warhorse.
But I get I love a good gimmick. I absolutely love
gimmicks.
It.
I can eat them up all day. Silly gimmicks. Yeah. If you are a silly gimmick, reach out. I want to meet you. Don't come to me if you're like the slammer John Riley. I'm sure you're brilliant. I'm sure you're brilliant. But if you're flying John Riley, I'm not interested. But if you're the bin man John Riley, then I'm buying.
Or flying John Riley if he's an actual pilot.
Thank you, Nikki. That's it. That's why you're the queen. That's why you're the queen. If you're flying John Riley, but you dress as a pilot,
then
you're on the show. If you're flying John Riley, oh God, if there's a wrestler called Flying John Riley, I'm going to feel very good. If you're flying John Riley, if I'm saying the name Flying John Riley without any concept of a wrestler called John Riley. So if you're a good egg or if you know he's a bad egg, I apologize. It's a name I pulled out of my ass. If you're flying John Riley, and if you're not doing so already, you're willing to dress as a pilot and come out in the hat and wrestle in the pilot's gear, and your finisher is off the top rope and you shout clear for landing as you leap, then you're on the show.
Yes. And if there isn't a guy doing that, we need to get someone to.
Then we have handed you today on Jobbing with Nikki. We've handed you a license to print money.
Yes.
And for that, you're welcome.
And a pilot license.
A pilot. That's why you're the best in the game. That's why you're the best in the game.
I'm not the best. One day I might be as good as you, but I doubt it.
You're back now, and you've barely begun.
But I do think that's all the questions. What are you doing?
So I live over an airplane, an airport, and a plane just flew over. I don't. That's a lie.
Is it John Riley?
John Riley. Can I book Welsh? Can I book the rest of the Welsh Rarebit?
Yes.
Thank you. He's just a big lad, like him. Met him at Kingdom Wrestling. Good lad. If it's any Kingdom, I need to book Indigo Jones.
Oh, I love Indigo Jones.
In your neck of the woods, I need to book Indigo Jones. He was the first guy I announced at Kingdom Wrestling when I did my debut for them at Clash on campus. And he comes out and he says, "You need to read this." And it is his intro. This goes back to Jeebus' question. It's his intro scribbled on the back of a pack of cat litter, and it's a bit wet and a bit so. And I'm like, "This is disgusting," and this is in your bum bag. I love you immediately. This is fantastic.
I love Indigo. He is one of my
Indigo.
One of the best people that I've had the pleasure to meet is Indigo Jones.
He's a lovely guy as well. Like what and this is the big thing for me is all the just to put something somewhat serious on there. Like for me, there's so many wrestlers on the scene, but I want to work with nice people.
Yes.
Like everyone I've met here, with the exception of Bad Man Tom, who I'm sure is lovely, I've met and worked with, and they've all been class, and they've all been polite, and they've been friendly, and they've been fun and open, and we've put the world to rights, and like, you're good people. I want to work with good people. I haven't got the energy anymore to deal with someone coming up to me and just being difficult for the sake of being difficult, for thinking that they're main event in the garden when they're main event in a social club. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, I'm too tired for that, as I think the world is. So if you immediately get a pass with me. If you're just a nice person, I will give you all the time in the world. If you come at me as a dickhead, I ain't got time. Hasn't happened so much yet or lately. But that's yeah. Just be nice. It's easier to be nice.
It is. It's easier to be nice, and everyone just needs to get along.
Can't we all just get along?
I say it way too often, but I mean it. I want nice people. I want good vibes, and it's not hard to be nice to each other.
No, it is not hard. Can I also book the Music Man?
Yes.
The Music Man.
Yes.
Oh God. I was booked to open a pet shop in Chesterfield, as all good stories start. And they were meant to have there's an Elvis tribute that night in Chesterfield. And for whatever, then the Elvis tribute was going to come and do the opening for the Pet Shop with me and sing Hound Dog.
Why didn't you get the Pet Shop Boys? Like,
they were too expensive. It was more the fact it was a cross promo with a gig in the area that night as well. So this guy was doing an Elvis tribute act up the road at the theatre in Chesterfield. So we went, this is a nice way to cross promote the opening of the Pet Shop and the opening of his show. He couldn't do it. Last minute, he couldn't do it. So we had to find a tribute for the tribute Elvis. And then we said, oh, this guy's come along and he's going to be around about just before 11. And I see this guy get out of the car and I thought, he's wearing a PPW jacket. I went, that's Pursuit Pro Wrestling. I was like, okay. And as he got closer, I went, oh my God, it's Music Man. Oh my God, it's Music Man. And I was just grinning as I was chatting to him. I don't know whether he knew me from Adam, but I was like, yeah, you're PPW. Yeah, it's Music Man. How you doing? And I messaged Liam and I went, look who's turned up to my Pet Shop opening. He does tributes as well, and then he wrestles as the Music Man, and he is magnificent. Can I book Tim Strange?
Yes.
What a guy!
Just book everyone.
So I keep thinking of people going, I need to book, because when you think of gimmicks, Tim Strange. Can I book Mr. Tim Strange, the hardcore horse? Coming out eating crisps, giving people kisses. That.
Speaking of Music Man and your love for Liam Slater earlier, I saw them fight in a jumpsuit match.
Oh, was it loser takes off their jumpsuit or loser puts a jumpsuit on?
Music Man lost, he had to take it off. But if Liam lost, he had to put on an Elvis jumpsuit.
Brilliant.
It was amazing. I think it might be on YouTube. It was amazing. It's right up your street.
That's it. Just I would devour gimmicks like that all day long. Like wrestling.
And they actually surprised me before the match and got me in the ring to announce it. And I had no idea. And I was like, oh no!
Get in there! That's great!
It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, get on YouTube and watch that.
I'm going to now. Yeah. Love him. Love him.
That is all I've got for you. And I've got shopping being delivered in 10 minutes.
Fitted in, slotted in perfectly. Just me, then Tesco. It's all the hits today.
Oh, no, I had the Muscle Food Butcher box delivery before this as well. Just
your butcher? Oh, for like meat from the butchers.
Yeah, Muscle Food. It's like all protein stuff.
Oh, nice. So we do Hello Fresh.
My meat delivery, podcast, shopping delivery. Sorted. This is how you work out. This is my calendar.
I'm the sandwich in your delivery. I'm the meat in your delivery sandwich. Hey, look, you know what? Also, a good ring announcer always keeps the time. So therefore, we have absolutely kept the time here.
We have.
Yeah, we have indeed. Well, professional, you and I. Well, I'll let you do. I'm sure you'll have a sign off, and you'll throw to me to plug my socials. So I'll let you do that.
Thank you, as always, for watching / listening to this random babble that we have done. It has been so much fun. Thank you so much, Tom. It's been incredible. And now I will hand over to the amazing Tom Campbell to plug his social media.
Oh, wow. Didn't expect that. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you very much. I'm Tom Campbell. I have been jobbing with Nikki. You can reach me on my socials. Mr. Tom Campbell on Instagram. I'm at Tom Campbell on the hellscape that is Twitter still. I am on Blue Sky as Mr. Tom Campbell as well. The Tom Campbell. I'm on Blue Sky as well. And if you are looking for a new voice of choice for not just wrestling, but for maybe your wedding, maybe for a corporate event that you have going on, maybe for something special, I recommend you book Tom Campbell, which you can do at booktomcampbell.com. I have a website. You can email hello@booktomcampbell.com and you can book me there as well. My fees are, well, they're my fees. Booktomcampbell.com. And thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to be here today. I'm always a big fan of what you guys do on your show, and it's nice to be here. So, and for anyone listening from Cultaholic still there, stay safe and love you. Bye.
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 Jobbing with Nikki.